For over 7 years, the mystery of the Mesa at Skinwalker Ranch has centered on a single, agonizing obstacle: thousands of tons of fallen rock, highly magnetic basalt, and an unidentified conductive barrier sealing the subterranean space beneath the cliffside. Brandon Fugal's scientific team had drilled, scanned, and mapped the structure using ground-penetrating radar, seismic reflection, and multispectral imaging, all pointing to a massive, hollow cavern system or artificial corridor running deep within the rock face. But every previous attempt to penetrate the mesa hit inexplicable resistance. Drill bits snapped, hydraulic hoses burst under unexplained pressure spikes, and researchers suffered severe neurological disorientation whenever heavy equipment ground into the stone. That baseline of frustration changed completely during an emergency drilling operation conducted under strict secrecy. Utilizing a heavy-duty diamond-tipped core drill reinforced with titanium carbide cutters, drill operator Casey Smith and Superintendent Thomas Winterton began driving a 6-inch pilot shaft horizontally into the base of the mesa. The goal was to bypass the loose scree field and puncture the dense inner core mapped by Dr. Travis Taylor. For the first 80 feet, the telemetry readouts showed standard resistance, solid sandstone fused with iron-rich magnetite. But just as the bit reached the 87-foot mark, the heavy machinery suddenly surged forward without warning. The strain gauges on the drill rig dropped to 0 instantly. The motor, which had been grinding under thousands of pounds of torque, spun freely into open space. Inside the mobile command center, Chief Scientist Eric Bard gasped as the pressure sensors installed along the drill string recorded a violent pneumatic rush. Air was not blowing out of the rock. It was being sucked rapidly into the newly created orifice, as if the subterranean chamber beyond had been held in a vacuum or negative pressure seal for centuries. Before the crew could celebrate breaking through the impenetrable barrier, a sharp, metallic screech echoed through the drill pipe, followed by an immediate shutdown of all wireless data feeds inside the rig's cab. The team had finally breached the hidden tunnel, but what lay waiting inside the darkness was far beyond what any standard geological survey had prepared them for. With the drill string idling and the pneumatic pressure equalization slowly subsiding, Dr. Travis Taylor and Eric Bard rushed to insert a high-definition, fiber-optic endoscope equipped with thermal and multispectral sensors down the 87-foot borehole. As the illuminated lens emerged from the darkness of the narrow drill shaft and into the open cavern beyond, the live video monitors inside the command center lit up with an image that instantly silenced the entire team. Instead of rugged, jagged cave walls typical of naturally formed sandstone caverns, the endoscope revealed a smooth, distinctly curved interior archway, extending far into the deep shadows. The walls of the void appeared to be lined with a dark, metallic composite material that absorbed light rather than reflecting it. The thermal camera feed showed an even, uniform cold thermal gradient along the corridor walls, registering a constant 42 degrees Fahrenheit across every inch of the structure, a thermodynamic impossibility for a sealed rock chamber deep inside a sun-baked desert mesa. As Eric Bard carefully maneuvered the flexible probe further into the tunnel, the audio receiver mounted on the camera head began picking up a low-frequency hum. The acoustic analysis software instantly flagged the sound as a repeating 1.6 GHz harmonic wave, the precise signature frequency that had plagued radio equipment, satellite comms, and high-altitude rocket experiments over the triangle for years. The tunnel was not merely an empty geological void. It was actively broadcasting energy from deep within its core. When Dr. Taylor attempted to rotate the probe to capture a full 360-degree view of the chamber floor, the video signal flickered violently. Multicolored digital noise streaked across the monitors before the fiber optic line was hit by a massive surge of localized electromagnetic energy, blowing out the camera's sensor array and blinding the team once again. Following the blowout of the endoscope camera, Chief Superintendent Thomas Winterton and Security Head Bryant "Dragon" Arnold ordered an immediate suspension of mechanical drilling to reassess site safety. If the cavern was holding pressurized gas or toxic volcanic byproducts, sending personnel near the borehole opening could prove lethal. Dr. Travis Taylor instructed the science team to attach a sealed, vacuum-grade atmospheric sampling container directly to the drill pipe exhaust valve to pull an air sample straight from the interior of the newly opened tunnel. Inside the mobile laboratory trailer, chemical analyst modules began running gas chromatography and mass spectrometry scans on the retrieved gas sample. Standard subterranean pockets typically yield traces of methane, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, or radon gas. However, the spectral analysis software returned a chemical composition profile that left the researchers speechless. The gas inside the tunnel contained zero organic atmospheric elements. Instead, it was composed of highly purified argon gas intermingled with suspended microscopic metallic particulate matter. When Eric Bard placed a sample of the metallic dust under an electron microscope, the imaging software revealed perfectly formed geometric microstructures composed of an exotic alloy, a precise mixture of tellurium, europium, and highly refined titanium. These rare earth elements do not fuse together naturally in geological rock formations, nor are they utilized in standard industrial drilling equipment. The presence of these refined metallic microparticles suspended in a pure argon environment strongly indicated that the subterranean void was not a natural geological cave system, but an artificial, environmentally controlled chamber designed to prevent oxidation and structural degradation of whatever material resided deep inside the mesa. While the chemical report was still processing, the ground around the drill rig began to vibrate with a steady low-frequency oscillation. The team rushed back out to the site to find the borehole emitting a faint, pale violet luminescence that illuminated the night air, confirming that whatever power source remained dormant within the tunnel had been fully awakened by the intrusion. With the discovery of refined metallic particulates and a self-contained argon atmosphere, the team faced an immediate tactical decision. Dr. Travis Taylor, Thomas Winterton, and Eric Bard met inside the command center to establish an emergency safety protocol before taking any steps toward physical entry. If the tunnel contained an active power system or exotic environmental conditions, descending into the mesa without proper shielding could expose the team to lethal biological risks. To evaluate environmental safety along the threshold of the borehole, Security Chief Bryant "Dragon" Arnold deployed a remote-controlled, tread-mounted rover equipped with dual radiation detectors, magnetometer arrays, and high-intensity infrared floodlights. As the rover's steel wheels ground through the loose scree and entered the main breach, the onboard Geiger counters began ticking steadily upward. Within 15 feet of entry, the radiation meters registered a sharp surge in ionizing radiation, spiking past human safety thresholds into the high REM range. Inside the command center, Eric Bard monitored the live telemetry as the rover advanced deeper into the metallic corridor. The magnetometer sensors recorded intense, localized magnetic field gradient reversals occurring every few feet, a phenomenon that would completely scramble human equilibrium and induce severe spatial disorientation. The data proved that entering the void on foot was out of the question without military-grade hazardous material suits, radiation mitigation shielding, and air supply tanks. Suddenly, the telemetry link between the command center and the rover broke down. The vehicle's onboard battery reserves dropped from 90% to absolute zero in less than 3 seconds. On the final frame of video captured before the feed cut out, the headlights illuminated a massive, polished stone slab set directly into the curved metal wall ahead, etched with geometric patterns that matched no known historical, native markings or modern mining symbols. The sudden shutdown of the rover left the command center in dead silence as the final captured frame remained frozen on the primary monitoring screen. Dr. Travis Taylor stepped closer to the display, tracing the sharp geometric patterns carved into the polished stone slab set deep within the metal wall. Unlike natural erosion fractures or native rock art recorded across the Uinta Basin, the symbols displayed absolute mathematical symmetry, concentric rings intersected by precise parallel lines radiating outward, reminiscent of a complex circuit diagram or a stellar navigation map. As Eric Bard attempted to reboot the telemetry interface to recover raw video data from the dead rover, a sharp audio alarm triggered across the ranch's seismic tracking network. Geophones buried around the base of the mesa registered a localized, high-frequency harmonic vibration originating precisely from the chamber behind the stone slab. The seismic waves were not behaving like typical tectonic shifting or subterranean rockfalls. They were pulsing in a structured, rhythmic cadence at exactly 1.6 Hz, a low-frequency subaudible mechanical pulse mirroring the radio frequency emissions broadcast into the atmosphere. Outside near the drill site, Thomas Winterton and Bryant Dragon Arnold reported that the pale violet glow emanating from the borehole was intensifying, casting sharp shadows across the cliffside. The air surrounding the entry point began to ionize rapidly, producing a distinct smell of ozone and causing static electrical discharges to snap off the metal frames of nearby support vehicles. The physical energy contained within the hidden tunnel was actively expanding outward toward the surface. Recognizing that the situation was escalating beyond standard field protocols, Dr. Taylor contacted property owner Brandon Fugal to report the breach. The convergence of mathematical engravings, active radiation spikes, exotic argon atmospheric seals, and synchronized seismic harmonics proved beyond any shadow of a doubt that the scientists had uncovered an artificial, highly engineered subterranean structure that was now fully reactivating. On the secure video line from Salt Lake City, Brandon Fugal listened intently as Dr. Travis Taylor, Eric Bard, and Thomas Winterton laid out the real-time sensor readouts from the Mesa breach. The data was unequivocal. The diamond drill core had not merely breached a natural void, but had penetrated an artificially constructed, pressurized subterranean installation emitting high levels of ionizing radiation, 1.6 Hz seismic pulses, and a matching 1.6 GHz radio signature. Fugal weighed the historical gravity of the moment against the immediate physical risks to the team. With the atmospheric argon seal compromised, localized radiation spiking past safe exposure thresholds, and battery reserves draining spontaneously on equipment near the opening, proceeding with immediate human entry posed severe hazards. Fugal ordered an instant pause on deep physical ingress until specialized biological containment suits, lead-lined radiation shielding, and hardened wired exploration drones could be mobilized to the site. Inside the command center, Eric Bard finalized the cross-correlation between the newly opened subterranean tunnel data and the atmospheric bubble anomaly, mapped directly over the triangle during previous high-altitude radar tests. The spatial modeling software confirmed a perfect geometric alignment. The subterranean corridor beneath the mesa rises at a precise 7-degree angle, pointing directly toward the core of the invisible electromagnetic target, hovering 1,000 feet in the sky above Homestead 1. The hidden tunnel beneath the mesa is not an isolated underground chamber. It is the subterranean power terminus for a massive, property-wide system spanning both Earth and atmosphere. As the science team sets up heavy monitoring arrays around the luminous borehole to record the subterranean facility's rising power profile overnight, one haunting reality becomes clear. After decades of speculation, the mesa has finally opened, and the investigation at Skinwalker Ranch will never be the same again. What do you think lies beyond the etched stone slab inside the mesa? Share your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.